shelves were already full. Names I'd carried for most of my life, albums that had followed me across cities, across years, across quieter seasons. Some voices had fallen silent, some hands no longer played, some bands had simply become memories, and none of that felt unfair. Time had done what time does. Still, something remained unfinished. Not regret, not nostalgia, something smaller and somehow harder to explain. A kind of waiting that refused to leave, because I was still listening, still turning toward the sound, still hoping, without admitting it, that somewhere beyond everything I knew, something unexpected might still be waiting. There was no shortage of music, quite the opposite. Too much of it, endless recommendations, endless certainty, songs introducing themselves before they had earned it. Everything eager, everything available, everything strangely familiar. And after a while, I stopped searching, not intentionally, just quietly, like someone closing a book without reaching the last page. Because I was still listening, though less than before, still leaving a little room for something, without a name, without a promise, without a reason. Then one afternoon, hearing people talk about something new, I smiled, not because I believed, but because curiosity had survived. And perhaps that was enough. People were saying it could do anything, which sounded like the sort of sentence people always say about new things. I wasn't looking for a revolution, just an evening with nothing urgent and a little curiosity to waste. So I treated it lightly, almost joking. What if this met that? What if something English walked into something else that had no business being there? No expectations, no great ambition, just combinations made for the pleasure of seeing them fail. And then I laughed, not because it was wrong, but because it wasn't. Because somewhere inside that strange arrangement, something unexpected had learned to breathe. Most of it went nowhere. Entire evenings disappeared politely into forgettable songs, and perhaps that was reassuring, because disappointment still knew its work. Nothing magical, nothing automatic, just another way of searching. Then one night, almost absent-mindedly, together things that should have remained on different shelves. And when music arrived, I sat very still, not understanding why those sounds had found each other. And then I laughed alone in the room, like someone who had opened the wrong door and discovered something beautiful by accident, not because it made sense, not because it should have worked, but because somehow it did. By then, I knew enough to stop believing in miracles. Most evenings ended quietly, half-finished songs, beautiful beginnings that forgot where they were going. Voices too certain, chords too eager, entire arrangements trying too hard and disappearing without argument, which somehow felt right. Disappointment had always been part of listening, because the search itself had never disappointed me. Only the thought that nothing new might remain. I stopped counting how many times I began again, changed a word, removed a phrase, started over, not frustrated, not obsessed, simply listening the way gardeners return to the same soil, not expecting every seed to become something. I remembered records I had loved for decades and wondered how many forgotten versions had vanished before those songs reached my ears. How many evenings had disappeared into silence before something finally remained. because the search itself had never disappointed me. Even failure had its music, and perhaps that was the surprise. Not that strange things could happen, but that curiosity had returned without asking permission. Then one evening, deleting another song, I caught myself smiling, not because of what I found, but because I was looking again. One afternoon, I opened boxes I hadn't touched for some time. Sleeves worn thin, notes in the margins, old handwriting almost forgotten. Names that had followed me for half a century. Some no longer here, some long retired, some still present, only as voices inside memory. And I sat there without comparison, without judgment, just listening again. Because old songs never asked to be defended, they simply stayed, and perhaps that was enough. Later, I read familiar stories, who admired whom, who borrowed what a phrase from jazz, a chord from somewhere older, an idea carried across decades. Nothing hidden, nothing shameful, just people listening to people and making room for something else. I thought about melodies I had known so long, I could almost hear what came next before it arrived, and wondered whether memory itself was quietly singing along. Because old songs never asked to be defended, and neither did wonder. Perhaps everything I ever loved had already passed through countless hands before reaching mine. Then I smiled at the strange pride people place in originality, as though beauty appeared alone, without echoes, without debts, without history. Yet every record on those shelves seemed to disagree. was a time I would have argued with anyone about those records. Certain voices, certain names, as though love itself required loyalty. And perhaps for many years it did. Some albums had accompanied me longer than friendships, longer than cities, longer than occupations. Their songs had survived entire versions of myself. And so it felt like an uncomfortable thought, not betrayal, not regret, something quieter, a question without accusation. One evening, listening again, I caught myself wondering why the strange pleasure needed permission, as though wonder belonged somewhere and could be misplaced, as though gratitude had limits, as though affection was a finite thing. I thought of musicians who had given me more than they ever knew, people I had never met, yet somehow trusted through decades. And I almost laughed at the idea that they would demand exclusive devotion from strangers. And so it felt like an uncomfortable thought, because perhaps nothing was being replaced, nothing diminished, nothing erased. Perhaps the shelves had never been full, perhaps they had always been growing. Then suddenly I remembered how many times in my life something unexpected had entered quietly and become beloved, not because it deserved permission, but because it stayed. And I wondered whether gratitude itself was large enough to welcome one more song. Tonight, nothing unusual. Rain against the glass, tea beside the chair, old records nearby, and somewhere inside the quiet, another unfinished thought, waiting patiently. I no longer asked what counted, what qualified, what deserved. Those questions had become tired long before I had. And still I was listening, Not searching, not comparing, only listening. And somehow it seemed enough. I thought about years spent chasing songs, records found by accident, names passed between friends, late night radio, unexpected harmonies. Entire seasons remembered through sound. None of it had asked permission. None of it had explained itself. Beauty had always arrived quietly and left its reasons for later. Perhaps nothing had changed except this: I no longer mistook familiarity for completion. And still I was listening, still leaving a little room for something strange, something beautiful, something I had never heard. Then I smiled at the absurdity of waiting after all these years, and smiled again at the greater absurdity that waiting had not disappeared. Tomorrow there would be more music, more failures, more surprises. Perhaps nothing memorable, perhaps something wonderful. But tonight, without conclusions, without certainty, without needing answers, I pressed play again.
People assume that after enough years, one becomes settled, certain, finished, as though taste eventually retires and spends its evenings repeating itself, which sounds reasonable and completely false. Because I still stop in front of record shops, though I own too much, still read reviews of albums I may never hear, still argue quietly with strangers who don't know they're participating. An elderly enthusiast, still looking around, still wondering what all the noise is about, still hoping someone somewhere has found a sound. Woo! I haven't heard before, my shelves complain under the weight of accumulated certainty. Yet every year something slips through and rearranges the furniture, not dramatically, just enough to make room for another affection. Friends ask, haven't you heard enough? Which always makes me smile, because no one asks readers whether they've read enough, or gardeners whether they planted enough. An elderly enthusiast. Still, oh. station, still making lists, still writing notes, still laughing at impossible combinations. Hey! And sometimes late at night, surprising himself. Then I remember being 16, certain that music would always matter. And 50 years later, I discovered with considerable relief